that arena. Of course, it opened as America West Arena back in 1993. But these two teams right here, the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors, have had a lot of beef this season. The Warriors won the season series 3-1, but they haven't met since February. And there's a lot at play here, of course. The loser goes home. The winner gets to take on the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder. And Fezzi, the Warriors are riding some momentum after that win in L.A. against the Clippers Wednesday night.
Yeah, Bonte, the Warriors are riding some momentum right now. But the biggest thing after a big win, the toughest match is the next one, because you have to come off that high and get back into desperation mode. And the last game was incredible. I thought that the Warriors were hungry that fourth quarter. It seemed like everything just clicked. It was quick decisions, it was pacing, it was space, all the things that you want to see from a veteran team. You saw Al Horford coming into the game, made big shots. Guy Santos made some big shots, big plays by Draymond Green defensively. So all those things have to come into play tonight from the start of the game. And on the other hand, Phoenix has the opposite. They're trying to come off of a bad loss, a tough loss against the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah. They were up 11 in the second half. So for them, they're trying to get back up, coming into this game with some momentum. So both teams on the same spectrum, they just got to get back in line and focus on the game.
Yeah, momentum clearly favors the Warriors. An incredible performance against the Clippers there on the road. To me, the first thing I'm going to look at is how Steph's moving, how Draymond has recovered with his tweaked his knee, and then Porzingis. Those three guys. I think if they're moving well, I could see the Warriors handling this game pretty easily. And that Clipper game, everything came together in the fourth quarter. Draymond's defense was incredible. He shut Kawhi Leonard down. And with that great defense, the Warriors' offense was amazing. Yep. They made 8 threes. Al Horford made 4 of them. So everything came together in the proper form. So they're carrying that momentum into today's game. To me, I'm just going to look when the game starts, how those guys are moving. If they're moving well, I think this is a much better matchup than the Clippers.
Yeah, Phoenix blew an 8-point lead against Portland in the last 3 minutes of that game Tuesday night in Phoenix. The Warriors, you mentioned, Mullin, in the last 9:45 of the fourth quarter, outscored the Clippers 41-23. But here's the kicker. They commit just one turnover in that final 9:45.
And 14 of 18 from the field, 8 of 10 from 3.
All right, you see the odds here for the Warriors that advance to the play-in tournament. Those are good odds, Fezzi. If we would have bet, we would have made a lot of money. But let's hear from Steve Kerr and Curry on the win Wednesday night.
I just told them it was, with all the wins we've ever had here, with a lot of them with a lot more at stake, this is right up there. Just because, of where we are and our age and our, the decline of our performance this year, the injuries, it was just a display of, just a beautiful display of competitive will. And this is why Steph came back. For one night, we're us. We're champions again, and I know that may sound crazy to everybody out there. It's a play-in game. I don't care. It's just absolutely beautiful to watch.
We're not guaranteed a series yet, but these nights make everything worth it because you feel the anxiety of having to perform when the lights are bright, do or die game. Like I said, the last 2 days of preparation, trying to get our game plan right, got us really locked in on the moment. So considering how our season has gone and all the injuries and all that, for us to play the way we did tonight was special. I know we're not satisfied. We want to go to Phoenix and guarantee, a playoff series against OKC. That's the next goal. But for us to lock in on just 48 minutes, figure it out, however we can, get a win, knowing that the game was not going to be perfect, we were all pretty committed to that. And the 8 guys that got on the floor all had a part in making it happen.
All right, let's head down to Phoenix, Arizona, courtside with Petaluma's finest, Dalton Johnson, our Warriors reporter here at NBC Sports Bay Area, doing a heck of a job on the road here, DJ.
Suited and booted. Look at him.
That. He's in playoff mode, not playing mode right now. Come on, DJ. I expect you to up your game up if the Warriors win tonight. But speaking of that win on Wednesday night, the Warriors tapped into that championship DNA. You were around the club Wednesday night. Tell us more about that championship medal they displayed against the Clippers.
Yeah, whatever machine was going to be hooked up to the Warriors' veins, the machine was going to read on the screen championship DNA. That's what stood out to me. I'll be honest with you guys. At halftime, a handful of us reporters were up getting food and asking ourselves, are we going to see a Curry flurry? Because we didn't feel that in the first half. We saw he didn't have that extra burst that we're used to seeing. We saw Derek Jones Jr., his length and his athleticism was getting in Steph's way. But as we have seen time and time again, the wait is worth it. Then came the Curry flurry in the third quarter. It continued obviously in the most clutch times in the fourth quarter. As Darius Garland said, 30 does what 30 does. But you know what? 2-3 does what 2-3 does too. Draymond Green was absolutely phenomenal on Kawhi Leonard. Being in the tunnel for those final few minutes, being so close to the court, all I kept reminding myself in my head was, these are still the Warriors. This is what they do. And it's not just about Steph, not just about Draymond, or not just about Steve Kerr. This team played 8 players against the Clippers. 5 of those have won championships before. They felt that. They know what it takes. They thrive in these moments. So yes, playing game, but as Steve Kerr said, doesn't matter. For one more night, they were champions in their hearts.
Well, DJ, a guy who came along for the ride was Porzingis, 25-5 in that game against the LA Clippers. Some nice passes in the fourth quarter. He had it rolling, going 8 of 12. I know he was just warming up right behind you. What can you tell us on Porzingis and that ankle injury?
Porzingis is available tonight. He will play. He was definitely seen limping after that game. I watched his warm-up. He looked good. He looked good during his warm-up. Right after, as he's walking towards half court, Rick Celebrini stops him. They went over a good long conversation. Obviously didn't have my ear in the conversation, but as KP walked up the court, he even looked at a couple of Sun staffers and gave them the nod of approval. He's gonna be ready to go. And his presence at 7'2" is gonna be vital tonight because Mark Williams being out for the Suns makes him that much smaller down low. So look for KP to try to take advantage of that size differential between the Suns, between the Warriors. And you know what? Maybe we're going to get another throw-down poster dunk from Porzingis.
Hey, he had that running start from the three-point line on a missed free throw from Brendan Podziemski. DJ, good stuff as always, brother. Keep up the good work down there in Phoenix. All right, we look at the numbers in the fourth quarter again. In the last 9:45, the Warriors just caught fire from the three-point line, only missed 4 shots. Remember, they were down 98-85, and the Warriors erased that 13-point deficit in basically a minute and 37. When Stephen Curry checked back into the game, the Dubs were down 98-88. Next thing you know, there's a timeout, and the Clippers were up 3 at that point. Then Al Horford got rolling there, Bully. The offensive efficiency in that fourth quarter was at a high level for the Dubs.
Incredible offensive and defensive quarter for the Warriors. They did on both ends. And I was, when we rewatched the game, they really just attacked Brook Lopez time and time again in the half court. If they got in the half court, raised the floor and had Draymond and Steph play 2-on-2 basketball above the three-point line, they lost Al Horford 4 times in transition in half court. But the ball was moving. Give the Warriors all the credit. And Bonte, you see probably the biggest key, besides the incredible offensive output and efficiency in Draymond's defense, the fact that they had 1 turnover. Mm-hmm. So the Warriors had 20 for the game and 35 points off turnovers they gave up. But in the decisive fourth quarter, just 1, and the Clippers had 6. So we always say all turnovers are not created equal, also when you commit them. Yep. So the combination, great defense, great offense, and taking care of the basketball is how they sealed that win.
Yeah, I thought it was hot shooting, but also trust. There wasn't a lot of over-dribbling. The Warriors took care of the basketball, yes, and also they just shared the basketball and just make quick decisions. You saw pace and space, but it took the second half, starting from the third quarter all the way to the fourth quarter. That confidence was building the whole time. I saw versatility in the lineups. There's lineups where Steph and Draymond were on the bench, and they made a run. This Warriors team right now is really confident. Not only do the veterans have confidence, the role players, Brendan Podziemski, Guy Santos. Steve Kerr ran a play and threw the ball to a ducked-in Guy Santos on Darius Garland. It's a trust all around this team. And I think right now with that aggressiveness, when Steph is on the floor, you have that gravity. There's people double teaming him. Other guys can really get into the flow, and that confidence is coming from them being aggressive too.
26-5 for Guy Santos Wednesday night, man. He played big for the Dubs, Willie.
Steve Kerr put on a coaching clinic. He dominated Ty Lue and his staff.
No doubt. How often do we see him go 8 deep in a playoff game. We've seen him play 10 guys in the first quarter of a finals game. But up next, we'll break down Draymond Green's defensive masterclass against Kawhi Leonard. Plus, the legendary, one of our favorites, Eddie Johnson. He's live in Phoenix. He's ready to break this game down with us here on Warriors.